how was it kind of working? Because y'all all had a role to play. So how was it trying to work between, all three of you guys? Because I know Michaela did the voice acting in certain parts. Obviously, you were the heavy point, and Coney was on set. How was that process of being one of three versions of one character? I'm assuming that's like a new type of acting for you, or like acting experience.
Yes, definitely. I want to lend what I do to what they're doing, so that we can get that synchronicity and that it stitches in. I didn't have too much time to watch what they were getting up to with the character, but we did table reads, and I did spend some time with them just to get a general direction of like, this is what I'm doing with the character. These are some of the things, and sometimes we were lucky enough to shoot different parts of the story, but on the same set on the same night. And I got to watch Nkone act with Mark, which also a brilliant actor, knocked it out of the park. They are still looking for that thing; it's still going. So I got to like quietly, like while they were shooting, they need all the quiet, so we have to like shh. And I got to like sneak close and just watch them work together. She's a brilliant actress, and yeah, they could have just dressed her up in the thing. I would have believed it. But it was a wonderful experience to work with them to try to create this thing. And I think the bond going into season 3 is even stronger. We're even more coherent, and we know where to help each other, so that when we step up to the plate individually, it's going to be ready to do that. Hi, my name is Gavin Gomes, and I play Tony Chopper Heavy Point in the One Piece live action season 2. And you're watching the Strawhat Podcast.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Strawhat Podcast. Today, we have another interview, and we're sticking with the Chopper theme, and I'm here for it. If you saw the last episode, then you saw that we sat down with Nkone. She is the hybrid Chopper for season 2 of the One Piece live action. And today, we have the heavy point Chopper, who joined us on the Strawhat Podcast today, and I'm super excited to talk to him. My man, Gavin. How's it going, man? Say hello to everybody. Let them know that you're here. How are you doing today?
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm doing super good. Sending you love and shout outs all the way from Fishhook, Cape Town, South Africa. It's amazing to be on the podcast, and we're ready. We are here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So first, I just want to, before we get too deep, I always like to just talk about how we got here. Not necessarily the heavy point first, but how you even got into acting. Like, how did that start? How long have you been on this acting journey, and kind of what have you done up to this point in your acting career?
I think I've always been like a performative spirit. I enjoy comedy. I enjoy being funny and making people laugh. And it was in back in grade 12 where someone had mentioned to me that you'd be good as a comedian or an actor. And I was like, that is ridiculous. I mean, having never thought of anything like that, but it stuck with me. And I made the journey to go check out a little bit. And from the first time that I had to deliver lines on like a little wood stage, I was like, damn, this is cool. And from then on out, the bug just got me, and the love grew. I went to AFTA, which is like a film school out here, learned a little bit about what it's like for a group of people to come together with all their equipment and a camera and a script and try to put a little thing together. I went out to Johannesburg for a little while. I heard that that's where the TV and things was happening. I spent a little bit of time out there, did a little bit of South African television, came back out here, and Black Sails was shooting at the studios at that time. And I was very lucky enough to meet up with some of the stunt guys there. I was able to perform roles as like an actor and learn a bit of the stunts because I enjoy boxing and kickboxing. And from that time being back in Cape Town, and the film studios out here and the films that came here and the projects that came here just kept growing and growing. And came to this point where we're in the biggest show on television, kicking out our magic.
So how'd the role come about for Heavy Point Chopper? I'm so curious, because I've heard everyone I've been told that a lot of this stuff for One Piece was like kind of code name and under wraps, and people didn't really know what they were kind of getting into. But like, how did that go for you?
That's 100% correct. They do. I mean, they do that. It gets like code names. They change the names in the script, and they just give you a little portion just to see where you're at. I auditioned for them for something else, and I think they liked me, but my physicality it wasn't going to work. So I think I was in mind for, because Chopper was still to be cast. I got the piece, and it seemed like it was a grown man having an angry moment defending his friends. So I auditioned like that. They called me in for the callback, but explained to me in the room, okay, cool. So it's actually a kid in like a bigger form. And I was like, okay, that changes it a little bit.
Okay.
And then I made little tweaks, and then did the callback. They called me back. They said, you got it. And then I went on this wild ride of going for the suit fittings, building the suit, creating the suit, going for scans, doing all kinds of things to get it ready, which was a ride in itself. But yeah, so they liked me for something else, and I was just in the right time at the right place to get Heavy Point.
Like, how did you feel like knowing that you got a role in such like a big franchise?
When I first started to understand the love and the magnetism and the gravity around the project, it was a little scary. I mean, I love what I brought to it. I think a lot of it worked. Looking back, some of the choices that I made, I could go back in the lab and have a look at. But I knew that there would be a lot of love for it. I wanted to put my best foot forward. And I knew no matter what I did, no matter how I performed it, whether I performed it perfectly or however, there was going to be people that loved it and there was going to be people that didn't like it. And I braced myself for that. It hits differently in real life, because when season 2 aired, it all came in. All the love, all the hate. It was this, they thought this, they thought that. And that was a cool experience. It's a good test of your foundation. But yeah, I have made tweaks, but going into it, getting the role, it was, yeah, I went and obviously looked at the source material like everyone and spent time with it. And I thought, how can I bring this stuff to life? Because a lot of what you're working with is, like you mentioned, a brilliant story, but you're working with like still frames and sometimes moving frames and a voice and a backstory. So I was like, how do I bring this to life and give it energy in the best way that I can? And that was the journey. But in terms of landing that role, it's a huge responsibility, and I'm very blessed, and I'm so excited to be on this journey and to craft it and shape it with all the other actors that play Chopper as well.
I want to say, Gavin, so I remember when I told Nkoni this when I spoke to her, when they had initially started rolling out Chopper. I know for me, huge One Piece fan, they didn't tell us a whole lot. So we were kind of in the dark. They had dropped like the promo video on Instagram with Chopper kind of running around and hiding, coming out saying, hey, I'm Chopper, which was great. So I know as I was going into season 2 and I got into Drum Island, I was curious to see all of the different forms. And I actually like it. I don't know what everyone's reaction or reviews of season 2 was, but I actually like the way that you guys portrayed Human Point, because I think it really brought to life why people were fearful of Chopper. And I think a lot of people miss the point of that, of the way he looked like that. He wasn't supposed to look pretty. He was supposed to look terrifying, because remember, everyone in the villages were scared of him. He's like, we're seeing him being chased out of town because he looks scary. So I think you guys nailed that. And so I just want to give you a shout out for that, because a lot of people kind of don't understand. Did you want to speak to that? I don't know if that's been criticism. I've seen some people in the community have been like, they don't understand why it kind of was portrayed that way. Have you heard anything like that on your end?
No, I think you said it perfectly. I try to stay out the comments as much as I can. I put my best foot forward. Me watching it back, if there's tweaks that I need to make, if there's things that I can do to help Michaela out with maybe like the vocal performance, if there's things maybe that I can like lessen or do more in the physical performance, then I will do that. But I think Jaco Sneeman and the whole team that designed that thing, it is beautiful. It was a wonder to wear. I mean, obviously expectations from fans are going to be huge through the roof, and you're never going to please anybody. But I was really happy with it. I thought it looked amazing. They've gone back. They've I mean, I can't say too much. They've done tweaks, changed a little bit. It's gonna look a little different when you see it again. But we're in a really good world. But in terms of the first suit and how it played, yeah, dude. I mean, I loved it. I think I played when it was time to battle. I played the brr of it, and I think there were some softer moments which also balanced it out. And yeah, I can't speak badly of it. I thought it was amazing, and I have nothing but high praises for the people that design it and that put all the work in to make that thing come to life on screen.
The performance between you and all of you guys, Michaela, you and Coney, bringing Chopper to life was amazing. Actually, I want to ask a question about that. How was it kind of working? Because y'all all had a role to play. So how was it trying to work between, all three of you guys? Because I know Michaela did the voice acting in certain parts. Obviously, you were the heavy point, and Coney was on set. How was that process of being one of three versions of one character? I'm assuming that's like a new type of acting for you, or like acting experience.
Yes, definitely. Because obviously, I don't want to. I want to lend what I do to also to what they're doing, so that we can get that synchronicity and that it stitches in. I didn't have too much time to watch what they were getting up to with the character, but we did table reads, and I did spend some time with them just to get a general direction of like, this is what I'm doing with the character. These are some of the things, and sometimes we were lucky enough to shoot different parts of the story, but on the same set on the same night. And I got to watch Nkone act with Mark, which also a brilliant actor, knocked it out of the park. They are still looking for that thing; it's still going. So I got to like quietly while they were shooting, they need all the quiet, so we have to like shh. And I got to like sneak close and just watch them work together. She's a brilliant actress, and yeah, I would have. They could have just dressed her up in the thing. I would have believed it. But it was a wonderful experience to work with them to try create this thing. And I think the bond going into season 3 is even stronger. We're even more coherent, and we know where to help each other, so that when we step up to the plate individually, it's going to be ready to do that.
I would say, one question I really want to know is like, how did you able to express so much emotion with your body language? Because like, it's different from like what you do is not different, but in the sense, but like, you're not just doing like expressions and whatnot. You're putting your whole body into like representing Chopper and whatnot. And I want to know like what all did it take to like express such amazing body language, to express so many feelings and emotions with just your body language? Because like, I really love like just you in the suit and everything like that. You express so many different types of feelings and emotions with just like the way you stood, the way that you positioned yourself and whatnot. And I'm just curious about like what all went into that process in your mind.
First of all, thank you so much. That is so kind of you to say, and I really appreciate that. So when I first tried the suit on and the prosthetic shoes and things like that, it was quite heavy. So I wanted to practice with a bit of weight on. So I wore weighted things, and those like weighted things you can have for your wrists and your ankles, just in the stunt rehearsal process, just so I could feel what it would be like to move my own body weight under that duress. I did that for a little bit. So, I mean, that helped. It's going to sound corny. I mean, Michael Keaton also said it, but once I like put that suit on and looked in the mirror and the face was on, it just gave me this ability to move differently. And once it was on, it was on. And but thank you so much. I did spend some time into how could I make it feel like a little bit heavier in the certain things, and also playful, like when it needed to be in the lighter moments. So I spent a lot of time in the rehearsal process and just like building it up before we even put a camera up for shoot day 1, just trying to feel in my body, play the weight. But then again, I mean, work the suit. The suit's amazing. And once that thing was on, I just started walking around differently. It was weird.
One of my favorite things that I've seen like from images is you like in the suit listening to like music and whatnot with headphones on and whatnot.
Yeah.
I love that image and whatnot. And some people say there's a rumor going around that you were listening to Tony Chopper to get into inspiration for their role and whatnot. And I'm curious about that. Did you listen to any One Piece music to help you get into like, you know, the mindset or anything like that?
I don't know where that comes from. I didn't have that track playing. I was listening to what they call like medicine music, or just like emotive music. I was just about to go on to do the scene where like Hirolik has just blown himself up and the hat comes down, and so I was trying to get into like an emotional space for that. So yeah, that's what happened there.
So how was it working with Dr. Hirolik? I know you've had I got Nkoni's perspective on that.
Yeah.
What was your perspective working with Mark and all the emotional scenes? Because, dude, that entire episode was top to bottom done so well. And I'll ask the question here in a second, but I just wanted to say, I've said for a while now that the live action especially this season, it might even be a better adaptation than the anime because everything that is changed actually works so well. So I want to ask with the way you were working with Mark, how was that? Because I think he, like you said, knocked it out of the park this season.
Yeah.
Had me feeling emotional about a backstory that I've seen 5, 6, 7 times over the years that I've been a One Piece fan. But it put a whole new feel on it. And even again, like you're seeing, Dr. Hirlook blows himself up, and you're down there, and it's like he's talking about, someone's coming, he's a monster, but he's my son. Don't hurt him. And then we see you. How was it working with Mark in these moments? Because these were very emotional moments. And like you said, you had to get into that space. How was that for you?
So unfortunately, I didn't get to do any scenes with Mark. Like I got to just sneak a peek because I was on a different set and close enough to see what they were doing. And then we had a cast dinner where I got to meet him and just to talk with him a little bit about what I had seen. But he did an incredible job. I just got small little snippets, and they shot his scene where he blows himself up. We didn't do that on the same day. So he comes on set on a different day, and then I just come fulfill my part where like I get stopped by Ty Car. But man, it's just such a privilege to be around actors of that caliber who just come and just are able to, like you say, he had you in that state while he was doing that, just with these small little emotional things, and in that final scene, just to conjure up that magic and that level of acting. It's a privilege to be around and to watch.
So I asked Coney this. I got to ask you too.
Yeah.
Favorite scenes from season 2? Like I want one scene if you can from Drum Island, because of course that's where you were. So if it's one of your scenes, that's perfectly fine. But one scene outside of that, if you have like a favorite scene, favorite moment, I'm so curious what that would be for you.
I love all. I'm a big fan of Katie Seagal. So Dr. Correa's Dr. Reen scenes. Oh man, she was amazing. So I loved her interaction with Chopper, and the whole telling of that story. That whole set that they got to work on is absolutely incredible. But I would have to say the scenes with Dr. Correa.
Do you have any favorite scenes outside of Drum Island for season 2?
Oh man, there's I can't think specifically now, but a lot of Jacob's moments. I love him, dude, who plays Usopp. Man, he is hysterical, and he is such an amazing human being on set. I cannot even give him enough. The light that he is, and how he shine, and how he is to work with. I love watching him perform. Any scene with him is incredible. But I can't think of specifics now. My mind is full of like, we shoot on Monday, so I'm like, oh, okay, gotta like.
Oh no, you're good. I know. And again, I know a lot of this stuff. Y'all had shot this so many years ago now, so I know it's kind of.
Yeah,
I got you. But I will agree with that, because to your point with Jacob in Little Garden, his whole thing in Little Garden, it was like, dude, the way that he is changing the perspective on Usopp, the way that Usopp's been written. But he adds such a breath of fresh air to it, because he keeps that scared element, but he shows you like, okay, I'm really about it though. I'm scared, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to get it done. Having him be the highlight of Little Garden, the way that he was, masterful. So shout out to Jacob. I agree. Every scene that he was in, wonderful. Wonderful, top to bottom.
Seeing like the role that you had with like Taz and what, like the scene that you had with Taz and whatnot, I want to know like how much like took into like learning the role. Like how much did you do? Because I know you have a stunt man and whatnot, but I know you have done stunts yourself and whatnot. So I'm curious about like how much of the choreography did you do, and how long did it take to learn the choreography? Because that was one of the most anticipated scenes for some people. Because like I want you to know, hands down, I loved everything you did in that scene. Your body, yes.
Thank you so much, man. And working with Taz is also crazy, because he's like a nuclear power station. His training is on another level. He's just like all the time just doing it. I'm like, damn, dude. But I spent a lot of time once I got friendly with the stunt coordinators and the stunt guys. I spent a lot of time working with them in like a stunt cast capacity. So they do trust me to do a lot of that. So I did all of the fighting. The only thing that they wouldn't let me do not the jump over the beds. They put him on the wire to do that, and he flipped the bed. Everything else is me.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Have you started watching One Piece since you've gotten the role?
I have not from episode 1. I'm kind of just sticking to like where we're filming and where the story just before and just after goes. But I do intend to start from episode 1 and make it all the way through because it is brilliant. And I mean, it's just a testimony to what your the power of what your imagination can do. Because we're all here talking about this thing because one man decided to pick up a pen. Like, I have this thing in my mind. I'm going to get it onto paper. Oh, wait, this is working. I'm going to keep going. And here we are spending and putting talent into this thing to bring this to life. So, wow. So I'm definitely going to watch it. And I want to know each arc and I want to see it all.
Who would you say just top 2 to 3 characters? Like, it was Straw Hats or not? Who would you say your top 2 to 3 characters are? If Chopper is one, that's fine. But who would you say they are? Just in general.
I really like Arlong. I love what he did with that and that whole world. And I've worked with McKinley Belcher before on another little action thing. And what a cool actor, man! He's got a voice to die for, and he's just such a cool gentleman. So, and I love what he brought to that and that design and how they brought that to life. That's very cool. That's like imaginative 101. Emily's characters are obviously amazing.
Oh, Nami.
Yeah. And I love what she does with the role. Just her simplicity and elegance to it. Oh man, I gotta say Wapple. I mean, I'm saying a lot of bad guys here, but that's like, I mean, yeah, cool. I loved him. Yeah, dude.
I love it. Wapple was an interesting standout too, because like the added scenes of having Wapple there with Miss All Sunday, and we were seeing him get the fruit, and even the scene with Wapple's talking to King Cobra at the whole reverie table. And it's like, when you see Vivi back there, a lot of these added scenes they did with him were really good. Rob, shout out to Rob. He did a really good job. But no, I agree. I was not expecting you to say Arlong because I've asked a lot of people this question and almost nobody pulls on Arlong. And I think Arlong and even that entire arc, the way they did it in season 1, fantastic. Yeah. And I'm just going to let you know, Gavin, Nami is my favorite character in general. So me and you align. Yeah. Now, I like you even more. I knew I liked something about you. I didn't know what it was. Yeah. I was like, maybe he's a Nami fan, but let me wait to find out. And you just confirmed it. I love Nami. So shout out to you. Emily Rudd does an amazing job. Even the way that she is in season 2, seeing her really pull on those cat burglar strings, her in Logetown was done masterfully. And I like how they allowed her to pair up and fight Alvida with Jacob in Logetown. That scene was amazing. So yeah, thank you, Gavin. I knew there was something about you. I just couldn't. You're a Nami fan. Thank you.
How long did it take to get into the suit and everything like that? I'm curious about that. Is it a one piece that you put on? I'm just curious about that whole little setup there.
So the first time we did the test application, that took 5.5 hours just for the face. The muscle suit, the muscle suit is it's a one piece, so it's got like little leggings, those like hair leggings, and then a little spot for me to do my business if I need to. With the shorts over. But now that we are shooting, there's 2 ladies, very, very talented ladies, that we've got it down to 3.5 hours for the face and all the hair applications and all the things that go on here. And the suit take like 5 minutes to get in. I just got to slip in there, and they button up, they zip it up, boom, 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 and we slap the hat on, and I'm ready to go.
Run me through like a normal shooting day. What time do y'all start shooting? Not that. What time do you get there? Because it's going to take you time to get in the suit and the makeup. You just said 3 to 3.5 hours. Run me through like a normal shoot day for you. How would that be?
So call time would be anywhere from like 4:20 in the morning to 5 in the morning. I have to be there at the studio. I have a few minutes just to do my thing, and then I'm in the chair. Then they start with the glues and things. They put like the protective stuff, just like skin barriers or whatever. Then we start to like glue the eyebrows down. And then they start at my nose. We paint the nose black, just so if there's any shot that goes in there, you don't see that it's my nose. They paint the nose black, and then they put glue on the nose and on the forehead. They attach it from the middle, and then slowly but surely they glue the face on, and then they paint and do all the magic. They color it from where the mask becomes my skin, which I blend all that nicely. I have a bit of a break and then jump back in. They start doing like all the hair bits. There's multiple bits that create that facial hair or the fur. And after 3.5 hours, we're done with that. And then I'll put on a cooling vest, which I was trying to be a tough guy in season 2 and think that because I didn't have a full understanding of how hot it got in the suit. And I was like, nah, I don't need it, because the first couple shoots I'd only done for a few hours, and it was night shoots. And then as an actor, I was like, maybe there's some like value in the suffering. I'll just suffer and like play it in the acting. No, my biology was like, sit down, fool. You must like. So now I've learned you can't get through a full shoot day without it. There's like a cooling vest, which is like a spandex vest with like pipes in it. And then it's got little pipes you can attach to. There's like a little water bag with like ice water and a motor. And then it'll pump ice water in there in between takes, and then I can cool off. Yeah, much needed. And then we just wait for either we wait for a blocking or we wait for the first scene to be up, and then I get fully ready, camera ready, put the hat on, and boom, slap the teeth in, the contacts, and I'm ready for a shoot day.
So what is it trying? How is it trying to eat lunch in like because you got the full the hair on still and everything, right?
Yeah.
Like throughout the day, how is it trying to like break and grab food while you're like in between shoots?
Right. So. My body, since like a while ago, doesn't need food until later, and I'm practicing fasting. But to answer your question, okay. I don't eat for that shoot day. I find it because once I'm in the suit, it's difficult to eat, and also if I eat and do too much stuff with the mouth, then like the thing starts to come undone, and then I have to do like a little surgery, which is another little half an hour of the ladies putting like more glue and more stuff. So. Yeah, if I can avoid it. But I mean, I have energy to do the shoot day without it. So I don't eat that shoot day. I eat when I get home.
So are we talking like 12-hour days, roughly? How long do y'all?
14-hour day.
14. Ooh. Goodness, man. Okay, man, look. Y'all are doing the dang thing, man. Shout out to you guys. Dude, Gavin, man. Wow. This has been a good chat, man. Seriously, like
thank you guys.
I have literally been waiting. I'm like, dude, this is gonna be a good talk, and I can feel the comedian type of vibes even from when we started. I could feel the good energy, man. It's just a good talk. Like it's just good. You're a good guy, man. I love it. And
thank you for you guys' patience. I know that I'm a little sluggish on that stuff. Like when it comes to the acting and 3, 2, 1 action, I'm like, yeah, sure. But when it comes to like the admin and like other stuff, I'm like,
it's all good, man.
Thank you,
it's
guys.
All good. And is that Cape Town in the background? Beautiful background.
Thank you. So this is my dad's place. So at the bottom of Africa, right at the bottom, there's like Cape Point. This is not too far from that. We're like deep south. We're right at the bottom of the African continent. It's Fisher.
Wow. So wow, man. It's beautiful, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, man, I just want to say thank you again for taking the time to sit down and just have a conversation with us. Like I said, masterful job, what you did in season 2. Season 3, I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be even better, which is hard if you did 10 out of 10. How do you get better than a 10 out of 10? I don't know, but I know y'all are going to figure it out.
No, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
So, Gavin, just let people know where to find you on, social media. What are the links? I want people to go find you and follow you along on your acting journey.
Thank you so much. I'm not too big on socials. I'm working on that. Developing that and understanding it as a tool that can be used. But if you're looking for me on Instagram, you can look at Gavin Lee Gomes. You will find me, and I'm getting better at turning that thing into something pretty to look at.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, man, this has been the interview with Gavin. Appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to drop a like, and don't forget to go check out Gavin on Instagram. And if you haven't already, watch season 2 of the live action. You're missing out on peak. So go check it out and look out for season 3 that will be dropping whenever it drops. But appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.